independent, and that so every sofa, every chair, every spoon, every utensil you're proud of because you've managed for 1 minute. I'll always have to find around the house. So yeah, it's something I'm passionate about.
Lucky him. That's completely relatable. You can. That's something which is something. That's why you are a role model because Marx, as we also talk a lot about it, Vedantu itself, that Marx is not everything, right? If you are passionate and if you have that courage to follow that passion, I mean, the personalities like you are the true examples of you doing that and then achieving greatness.
Thank
We'll obviously
you.
talk about that
Sure.
a lot. Last question, Deepika, and this is my personal favorite,
Okay.
which is something is in everyone's mind is how is Deepika spending time during the lockdown? So in fact, 35% of the students have said that you're spending time by reading books. 20% think you are experimenting with cooking, and a whooping 45% feel that you must be watching movies, catching up with all the movies you might have missed. So,
वो और इसका सही जवाब है B और C, because I've also been trying to cook, and every night we dedicate a certain amount of time, and that's academic actually, and it's a coincidence that we're talking about that on this platform. A learning. Um, to see different kinds of content coming out from not just from our own country but from different parts of the world as well. So it's a learning. I got rusty, and so I think this was a good time for me to, and I enjoy being in it some hours in the day to also watch something. So it's recreation as well as learning.
quite a glimpse on how you are spending time during this period.
Yeah.
Wonderful, Deepika. Coming to the current situation, Deepika, things are very different for all of us. Like, काफी tough है. We all have been homebound, forced to adapt, not meeting people, not meeting friends, change schedules, so on and so forth. How have you adapted? How have you coped up with this whole situation and the changes and the stress associated with it? I'd love to know.
See, I think, Vamsi, I think like it's sort of everyone's experience with this lockdown and with the pandemic has been very, very different. You can't say that my experience is the same as somebody else's experience. But speaking about our experience specifically, it started with a lot of denial and almost like, how can something like this even happen? Um, and then with all the news that was coming in, you start reading and you start watching, and you start realizing, wow, okay, this is real. um, and then comes the part of uncertainty where you're like, okay, this is a possibility, um, but what are we supposed to do? So it came with a lot of confusion, it came with a lot of uncertainty, and I think the final step was acceptance. To accept that, okay, I don't think any of us today have the answer to what life post COVID is going to be. I don't think any of us have any firm answers on when this is going to end. And so I think one thing that has worked for me is to accept the fact that this is the reality. It's worked for me, and to be in the present. I think a lot of anxiety comes from constantly worrying about what the future is going to be about. And I think one of the ways to overcome that is to sort of be in the present, take each day as it comes. And one of the other things that has worked for me is to follow a pattern or to follow a routine. Of course, it didn't happen instantly. It didn't happen right from the beginning of the lockdown, because your body, as human beings, we're not used to that. You're not used to being confined in one space. But as you start accepting and realizing that, okay, that this is going to go on for some time, to actually find the things that give you joy. And it could be different things. What gives me joy may not give somebody else joy. So you have to find individually what are the things that give you joy. And like I said, following a routine really worked for me. So dedicating some number of hours for and the patterns will be different, but I think following a pattern and routine is really what has worked for me.
Very interesting. A very, very strong point around discipline. I think all the students, especially, right, who are watching this, please do take a note of that, because that's really something which serves you not just in current time but probably in life itself.
Yes, yes.
Deepika, now this other question is something which is serious, and thanks a lot for actually sharing with this with us. So many years ago, you yourself experienced anxiety and depression and received professional support, following which you set up this wonderful Live, Love, Laugh Foundation. One of the programs of the foundation is You Are Not Alone.
Yes.
I'm very curious about this. This program is for adolescents, right? So I'm very curious, why did you decide to focus on adolescents for this particular?
Because students and adolescents, they are our future generation. They are the first line of defense. It's like when you're in the younger classes, when they take you to a fire brigade on a day trip. You know how our teachers used to take us to a fire brigade to see how or how you have civic in high school, why you have math, or how you have physical education. It's the same reason, because it is at that age where you grasp the most. Your learning is at its peak. You're exposed to different things in your life. Emotions and impressions are being formed and being set at that age. And it's time that we looked at mental health the same way we look at our physical health. And it's time for us and for our education system to include the importance of mental health into the curriculum. In order for our future generations to understand the importance of mental health, to understand the importance of why our emotional well-being or our emotional health is as important as our physical health. And so that's the reason. And it's a very, very simple course where I give an introduction, and then we talk about why mental health, what is the importance of mental health, what are the signs and symptoms in yourself or in the people around you, what is it that you can do if yourself or people around you, maybe a friend, or even for teachers for that matter, if a teacher notices unusual behavior in a student, for them to sort of be acquainted with what those signs and symptoms are, what do they need to do, because we truly believe that they are the future generation of our country, and they are the first line of defense.
That's true. I think that's a very powerful thought, Deepika, because it's not just the physics, chemistry, and maths. Marks is important, but I think this aspect is something which is less understood. And I think, as Dr. Shah was himself telling, it's also sort of like a taboo. Like people, really don't talk about it much.
Yes.
And kudos to you and your organization for actually bringing this light. In fact, at Vedantu, Deepika, I would share with you, we also believe in not just academics, but a holistic development, and that's one of the strong pillars on which a child's holistic development is to be built. Also,
absolutely.
Wonderful. Especially teachers who are in this session, who are hearing this, I would love for you to get inspired and probably talk about this in your own classes.
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, even for teachers, teaching such young impressionable minds is not an easy job, day in and day out. And you have teachers have their own, parents have their own physical and emotional needs as well. So yes, we do talk about going to the gym, and everyone talks about, oh, I lifted this weight, or oh, I ran so much. It's in the same light. It's time we spoke about our emotional needs. Did you meditate? Have you slept enough? Have you taken care of your nutrition? So like you said, physical health and emotional health need to be looked at as one, and have to be something that one should do just in the pandemic or just before exams. I think it's important to make it a part of your lifestyle, something that will help you in the years to come as well.
Right, very, very nicely said. Deep thought. That. Definitely, Deepika, I think this talk itself would inspire a lot of the teachers, especially and the parents who are looking at this session, to focus on this. In fact, my next segment is on the questions we selected from the students themselves. A lot of them are asking questions in the chat right now, and some of the top ones we have identified. In fact, there's Ravneet from Bhopal who has asked, very relevant to what we're just discussing. This question is, do marks really matter in life?
Oh, wow. Well, I'm not going to generalize, and I know a lot of my studious friends as well who are very, very successful in life today. So I don't think it's right to generalize. But in my own personal case, clearly not. I think just the one thing my parents always said is just don't fail, and that's what I work towards. And I think I'm very fortunate that even my parents, and of course, because failing a year comes with its own kind of stigma, it comes with its own sort of baggage. And I think everyone has a sort of different threshold for that. But for me personally, I didn't want to, I just wanted to get done with school. I didn't want to repeat a year. So, that's the pressure I put on myself. And I said, okay. And even my parents, they knew that that's not what came to me naturally. So, sure, I don't think anyone is saying you should fail, but at the same time, I don't think there should be undue pressure on students by the school or by teachers or even by parents. Because I think I'm a classic example of that. I didn't have fantastic marks in school. I was an average or below average student. But like I said, I think the discipline of going was an average school, the discipline of making friends, social interaction. I think the interaction and the different kind of classes that we had in school, we had friends that knitting and stitching and sculpture, teachers day, all of that, and different kind of singing classes. So all of those things eventually shape sports day, teacher day, all of that. So all of those things eventually depend on shape who you are over, shape your overall. Different. I think it's important to clarify that there's a difference between encouraging and pressure. So yes, I think it's important for parents to encourage your child, and sometimes even as children you do get lazy. So it's important for the parent to and the parents are really the best judges at that, to be able to differentiate between, is the child being lazy or is the child just genuinely not being able to grasp and understand. So yeah, it's important to encourage but not put pressure.
That's right, listen, exactly. Rohini, full of life from Bangalore, has asked, do sports help cope with pressure? Did it in your case?
Oh yes, absolutely. I cannot imagine my life without sport, and that's one of the most important things that again, apart from mental health, that I.
Very interesting. Last question was Supreet from Patiala, and he has asked, who was your go-to person when you were in school?
Oh, I think it really depended on what I wanted. So my go-to person in school. So when I was in school, my go-to person would be maybe like a really kind teacher. Like you have teachers who are mean, and then you have teachers who are really kind. So I think my go-to person would be one of my English teachers who was very, very understanding and kind. And I feel like some of my school friends, and even today, like all of my friends are all, I literally have 4 or 5 best friends, and all of them are from my school years. So, and my growing up years. So they would be my go-to people in school. But at home, I think I really, I was quite shrewd like that. I feel like I used my parents if I wanted to go shopping, I would ask my mother. If I wanted to go have a late night, I would ask my father. So I don't know. I think it really depended on what I wanted from which parent, and I tried. I'm not saying I was successful all the time, but I tried. Depending on their mood and what the need was at that point.
Who to go? Wonderful, Deepika. Thanks a lot for sharing those things and answering those questions directly from the students. Deepika, before you go, what is your message for our entire Vedantu community? In fact, comprising of students, parents, teachers, a lot of them watching this right now. Any tips you can give them to cope, especially with this current situation?
Yeah. I mean, I'd say I have a couple of messages. I think one is for the current situation that we are in, and one is generally, I think, for life. I think in the current situation, restrict the kind of news and the information that you're receiving, especially if you're someone who tends to get concerned or worried about the future. Focus on the present. Follow a routine. And you'd rather not overcautious, not hesitate to reach out to your friends, to your family, or to anyone who you feel comfortable with. There are several helplines also that you can reach out to. So I want you to know that you are not alone, that we are all in this together. Mental health is something, unfortunately, not always, they don't always have physical symptoms. So unlike other illnesses, it's difficult to tell. It. But you should know, and every person watching this, you should know that you are not alone and that we are in this together, and most importantly, that there is hope. And I think for the long term, what I would say is, and especially for students, and I can say this because my parents followed this, they never put any kind of pressure on, of their aspirations onto us. We were always allowed to choose a profession of our choice. And my grandfather followed that with my mother and my father, and they in turn have passed that on to us. So I think you'll only be successful if you're passionate about what you do, whatever it is that thing might be. So follow your passion, and while you follow your passion, you also need to be disciplined, dedication, hard work. These have been some of my learnings that I would like to share with all of you today.
Wow, Deepika, that was wonderful. Such beautiful thoughts. You are not alone. Reach out.
Yes.
And there's always hope. That's beautiful thoughts. And most important, I love the last part. Always follow your passion, but have discipline and dedication in it.
Yes.
That's really probably, walking the talk, really talked about clearly from your story. That's exactly what, you have done. And we can see, all of us can see like how successful you are. And all the more reason, guys, all the students especially, take that as an inspiration. Marks are not the end of the life. Exams are not the end of the life. They are just things which, as Deepika said, teaches you some values in life, which you carry. Right, and everything is a competition, be it marks, be it probably becoming an actor, becoming a professional athlete. That's beautiful thoughts, Deepika.
Thank you. And I feel like everything that happens in your life, there is always a learning. There is always something to learn from any experience that we go through in our life. So even if it is a setback, even if it is an academic setback, I've failed in math so many times. But there's always a learning, and sometimes that learning doesn't happen instantly, doesn't happen in that time. It could happen 10-15 years down the line, but I always believe that there is something to take away, or there is something to learn from everything that we are challenged with every step of the way.
Wonderful, Deepika. Deepika, thanks a lot for being with us, right? And sharing.
This was a lot of fun. Apologies for the glitch initially. But I'm so glad we could do this, and I'm so glad that the rest of it went off so well. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to reach out to so many people, and congratulations on everything that all of you are doing.
Thanks, Deepika. It's a pleasure to have you. And in fact, I'm sure all the students, parents, and teachers they have loved. I got, in fact, inspired from some of the things which you just shared. And I'm sure all the students and parents and teachers as well. It's a very, very important topic, guys, which Deepika touched upon today. And really hope that this triggers, our